All right, so we are back again with our Alien Earth series, and we are on episode 4, Observation, and a lot happens, but not a lot gets done, per se, is how I want to phrase this. So, we kick off the episode with Wendy sitting there, and they're trying to figure out why Wendy is able to hear the Xenomorphs and how she is linked to them. Um, we have no idea on why she's the only one who can hear them and why no one else knows why she was chosen. As far as I know, it's just kind of random and it's just part of her, I guess, her wiring, because she's able to tap in and see how her brother Joe was doing most of the time. So they're just thinking maybe there's something different about Wendy than all the others, and that's why she's able to hear things that no one else can really hear. And my biggest question is, why does everyone want to keep bringing the aliens back? Why? We know exactly what they freaking do, so why do we want to bring them and put them in a contained area where we all can easily die? We know exactly what they can do. We know exactly they can rip us apart and destroy us, and we know exactly how they work if they get on your face. So I don't understand why Boy Cavalier is so... I'll be honest, I don't know why anyone is excited to get these damn eggs. I mean, nothing good has ever come out of it, and nothing good is ever going to come out of it. It's just going to get worse, I feel. So, that's annoying to me, and they're trying to test out Wendy and see if, depending on how sensitive her hearing is, because they turned off her hearing completely, and they end up raising it higher and higher so that they can see where the frequency is and how high it is to where she can hear them, and they go all the way up as possibly they can, as high as they can, and they hear, and Wendy hears them almost immediately, but it's just too much, so she tells them to lower it. And Boy Cavalier is just fascinated with this, that she is able to connect with or communicate with this alien race that no one knows much about. And as much as Curly was trying to be the favorite and chalk it up and saying how she was reading French, well, Boy Cavalier spins that back at her and throws it like, you could speak French, but can you talk to aliens? Like, you tell me that. And obviously that rubs Curly the wrong way because she wants to be the favorite. But we don't know why Wendy is the one that is connected to them. We haven't been given that yet. So Joe kind of tells them, like, maybe we should take a break. The scientists are like, look, it's been a long night. Let's let her rest and we'll come back at it another time. Boy Cavalier doesn't like that idea and gets pissed about people telling him how things should be done, and he just, no, I want to do it this way. It's my fucking shit. Let me do it my way. So he allows it, lets it all happen, and his right-hand man, I think it's Adam Enos, I think is his name, tells him that maybe why do we want to keep these aliens? I think maybe we should give them back to Weyland-Yutani. What is the reason for us having them? I feel like nothing good will come out of it. And Boy Cavalier shoots back at him and says, well, I don't want a xenomorph popping out of my chest, okay? So it's better if we have them than anyone else has them. And you can sense that Adam doesn't want to keep these things. He knows exactly how bad these are, but Boy Cavalier isn't looking at that, what the consequences can be. He's looking at nothing that's going to happen, and it's better for me to have control over them than anything else. So there's that whole situation of Boy Cavalier can't get out of his own ego's way or get the way of listening to anybody. He's more focused on him because he thinks he's the smartest guy there, which proves nothing. We have seen so-called smart people make dumb mistakes in this Alien franchise. So that doesn't mean jack squat. While that's all going on, Morrow is still trying to talk to Slightly. He ends up telling him, hey, this is my real name. You tell me your real name, because now we know each other's names and we can trust each other, and I need you to get me those eggs, because technically you guys stole them from me. Those are my eggs. That's my property. And he's just trying to warp this in a way where a kid would understand and make Slightly trust him in every possible way. You can just sense the evilness out of it, and how he is just saying everything that Slightly wants to hear, everything that a kid would believe is true and that no adult would lie about. He's doing a very good job of it, and the way his face looks at the end of the conversation is very shady, and I don't like where that's all going. That seems very, very evil. It seems like a very evil face, even though when you talk about how you guys are the good guys. After that, then we get to the two scientists who end up talking, or end up trying to hide, because I guess there's cameras all over this freaking area, and excuse me. I completely forgot that these two head scientists were married. I don't know if they did say it. If they did, I don't remember it, because I completely forgot when she said darling, and he's talking about, how they're being married, and I completely forgot all about that. I was like, oh crap, yeah, they are married. How did I forget that? But both of them are not very happy about how Boy Cavalier has been using the synthetics. He thinks it's the man thinks that it's kind of dumb, and he doesn't like what Boy Cavalier's doing, throwing them out into rescue missions on this ship and doing this and this, even though, like, that's not what they're meant for. He's saying that this isn't science. He's using them for different ways than what we all planned for, and she's telling him, like, yes, I know that and I understand that, but there's nothing we can do about it right now, and it's not like he's breaking any laws, really. And the guy tells him, he's like, well, worst case scenarios, we have 5 AIs or 6 AIs that are just smart, that think they're humans, or worst case scenario, we just killed 6 children. So, I mean, you can kind of see the good and bad out of this entire situation, and I do like that they feel like parents, because, like, these are kids, and these are people's babies who ended up having them, hoping that they could get cured and, helped with what their sickness was and save them from dying, which in the family's eyes, they didn't do that, but in their eyes, they did give them a whole nother life. So it just kind of sucks to see they are just upset about how they're all being used, and how this isn't what we should be using them for. They are literally just kids. And as they're having this conversation, Nibs ends up coming up and telling them how she's pregnant, and they're looking at her like, no, you can't be pregnant because you don't have the right parts to be pregnant. And she's like, no, I am pregnant. Don't you tell me that I don't. I know exactly how this works. So the female scientist ends up having this conversation with Nibs, talking to her about, like, why do you feel like you're pregnant? How do you even know that you're pregnant? This is how you get pregnant, and you physically can't do that. And Nibs just loses her shit. She flips out on the doctor, yelling at her, telling her, I don't want to talk about the ship, slamming things, almost choking her out immediately. And she almost has a complete meltdown, but then goes right back to being super calm and talking about how she thinks it's a girl, but if she has a boy, what about this name? And it's almost like whatever just happened when she snapped on the doctor didn't even happen at all. It almost felt like that was a different Nibs. It wasn't this Nibs. And obviously the doctor is shaken from all of this, and she tells the guards that are coming in to bring her back to her room, and I think she says it's a level 3 and your boss will know what to do, which I really hope they don't take her out of the show after this. I'd be really interested to see where this is going and why Nibs is feeling all this way. We also get another denial issue is Adam Enos, Boy Cavalier's right-hand man, has a conversation with Joe, and Joe's saying how he doesn't want to leave his sister. He wants to take his sister out of here. He wants to know if he can talk to the people part of his group, and they're just business in him, telling him, no, that's classified information. We don't have to tell you that. And as an employee, you need to listen to what we say. So then Joe tells him, all right, well, then I'm quitting. They're like, you could quit. That's fine. But then we'll bill you for that new lung you have. And good luck paying that off, essentially. And Joe's like, fine, I'll stay here and I'll work. And says, when can I take my sister home? And Adam's like, no, there's no way you're going to be taking her home ever. She's our property, and under contract, she's here with us, and you have really no right, and there's no chance in hell you're ever going to see her. So the only way you could pay off that new lung is helping with Wendy and taking care of her and helping us in any way we need help with. And that obviously rubs Joe the wrong way because he still sees her as his sister, even though these guys don't think that at all. But he still sees her personality and her inside Wendy. And he still thinks of her as a human. And she's not just a synthetic. He sees her as a human being, which obviously they don't see that whatsoever at all. After that, Boy Cavalier and Wendy have a conversation now about Joe, and he's telling her that Joe's not important and that if he was really that much of a brother, he would try and find a way to see you, because I know if I was your brother, Wendy, I would come and see you. And almost twisting it to the point where he's making her trying to regret him being there and trying to make Wendy be like, no, I don't want my brother here, let's send him back. And Boy Cavalier is just trying so hard to get him out of here that he just cannot stand it. And he even says to Wendy, well, it's not fair that other people get to have their sibling, that no one else gets to have their siblings here but you. And she just keeps denying it, like, no, I'm not leaving him. And he's like, fine, he can stay, but if he causes any trouble, he's out of here. And obviously Wendy's happy about that, but Boy Cavalier is pissed. And speaking of families, Morrow is now talking to Slightly again, who tried to get another egg. And so going back, Toodles talks to Kirsch and says, hey, I'd like to change my name. I feel like with me being a scientist now and me helping around here, I'd like to change it to something a little bit more proper, and tells him that he wants to be called Isaac, like an Isaac Newton. And as he's leaving the lab, Slightly comes in there because that's what he's trying to do, is go grab one of the eggs. And Isaac ends up talking to him, and he gets caught in this lie. And gets him caught in this lie saying, like, oh, I need to grab something out of there for so-and-so. And Isaac's just like, well, what do you got to get, or what do you got to do in there? And Slightly's like, oh, no, it's no problem. Never mind. I'll do it later. So he ends up getting caught and talks to Morrow and tells Morrow, like, hey, I wasn't able to get the egg. There's so many security guards. There's cameras. There's this. There's somebody always in there. Like, it's impossible for me to get in there. And Morrow tells him how he's with his mom and his brothers will be home soon. And the vibe you get from this feels like Morrow is going to kill his mom and brothers if he doesn't do this job. And it almost feels like Slightly has that same feeling, that if he doesn't get this job done, his mom and brothers might be dead because of him. So now he has like a focused mission to try and get these eggs and give them to Slightly, or to Morrow. And Morrow just tells him, like, nope, just have someone go in there into the eggs to help you and just latch onto their face and let the egg basically plant inside them. Doesn't tell them what happens to the people. He just says the people are going to have a bad couple of days afterwards. So basically, it's still treating him like the kid he is and not telling him everything he needs to know about the horrific event that's going to happen to these to these people that he's essentially killing. And they're all the kids are having a conversation and talking with Joe about the 5, and I guess they're talking about how it got hard for people to vote for one person to rural area or whatever, and how it was impossible for anyone to make a decision. So these 5 corporations decided to get together and made it easier for everybody and made the world better. I don't know how much better, who knows really. And as they're all having this conversation, Slightly ends up making his way over there, and he's pissed because Joe's here and doesn't understand why Joe gets to be here, and how we all have families, but none of our families are get to be here, and how only Wendy's brother is the only one who gets to be here, and he doesn't seem like that's fair. And Smee tells him, like, yeah, but then Curly and Isaac are like, no, it's good here. They're treating us right, and we don't want to ruin that and have something worse happen. And out of all these people, Nibs is also not here, by the way. She is not here at all, so we don't know exactly what has happened to Nibs yet, and that really worries me. But after that scene, we end up getting to Wendy going back to the lab, and she's watching the xenomorph inside Joe's lung and it hatching and just watching it grow, and she can hear it a little bit. And it ends up bursting out of the container and ends up crawling up on like a table so that Wendy can look at it, and you can see this like mother-like connection between the two of them, and how Wendy's looking at it and the alien is not sure about her, and it's like looking at her like, I don't know who you are, but you don't seem like a threat to me, and you can almost understand what I'm saying, and it almost feels like, are you my mom type of feeling. That's kind of what we get here at the end, and it seems to bond with her or communicate with Wendy, which that's kind of a creepy mystery right there, and I'm very interested to see what that bond is and what's going on with it. So let's get into our pros and cons here. First one, Kirsch. Honestly, I have to say he is definitely one of the better parts of the show. I definitely say he's probably my favorite character in this show, and I do like how he is fascinated by the aliens, and how even the aliens are somehow connected to him too. When the eye creature, I didn't even mention that. I don't know how I forgot that, but they studied the eye alien and about how it connected to the goat, and how it is function, and how smart it is and understands, what it needs to be and how to make itself where it's safe into something's eye. And dear God, that poor goat died for no reason. But yeah, Kirsch understands loves understanding these creatures, and they somehow just seem to be connected to him, maybe not seeing him as a threat, or are fascinated with him as well. I like how he worries about the kids and how protective he is. And he even accepts Toodles wanting to be called Isaac because it sounds more scientific and more grown up. I just enjoy how he feels like a father figure, even without really showing any emotion. He knows something's going on with Slightly, but doesn't flat out come out and tell him. He almost wants Slightly to tell him instead, so he can help him, instead of being like, I've been listening to all your conversations, I know what's going on. But knowing Slightly being as young as he is, and possibly breaking by Morrow, beating him down, essentially, he ends up, from what it looks like, ends up moving the egg so that Slightly can't do anything bad. He's watching over him. I just like how he is being portrayed in a way. I'm really enjoying that. I love the mystery of Wendy's connection to the Xenomorphs. I love that she's the only one who can hear him, and no one can tell why she is the only one. Yes, it sucks not understanding what the connection is there, but I'm hoping that the payoff is worth it. But I am very hooked on what the connection is. If it is it just her being a special synthetic who can understand the Xenomorphs? Is there something more behind it? There's so many questions that it could be, and why they don't see her as a threat, and why they can seem to understand her, and why they gave her the chance to hear them. And I really want to know what that connection is. I feel like that, as long as the payoff is good, I feel like it'll be worth not knowing anything for a couple episodes. But if the payoff sucks, it's really gonna ruin this point for me. And then also I liked Morrow and Slightly. Their dynamic is chilling because Morrow acts like a friend, but we know he's just using Slightly to get what he wants. The fact that he's willing to use Slightly's mom and brothers against him shows the difference between friendship and loyalty. Morrow is loyal to his work, and he has been doing this is basically his life. These eggs and these creatures are his life that he risked 65 years of, that he lost. He doesn't have family anymore because of this mission, and his loyal to try and get this done, and trying to trick Slightly into thinking that what he's doing, being loyal to Prodigy, isn't that they're just a slave to them, essentially being there because they did this to you. Like, he's just trying to twist everything, and I like how Slightly doesn't want to believe him, but he does want to believe him because he's saying all the right things, and he's thinking, well, like all kids do, why would an adult lie to me about something like this? We are told all adults are good as kids, so we should trust them, which isn't always the best thing to do. And that's what's kind of happening here with Morrow. But I'm really enjoying it. I like Jesus Christ, the chemistry between both of them. I'm really enjoying that dynamic. So it'll be nice to see what else goes on between them and what ends up happening. Now the cons, Nibs. The only reason she's here is because I want to know more about it. I want to know why she snapped, essentially. Why her being on that ship all of a sudden made her think she's pregnant, or why she thinks she's pregnant. Is she even really pregnant? Why she wants to be a mom so bad. There's just so many things there's pieces that we're missing to this puzzle. And even with the pieces we do have, you can't tell what the full picture is. And so I hope they don't like what level 3 is, and that's just shut her down and she's now done for the series. I don't want that. I want to know more about what's going on with Nibs. It seems like a very fascinating story, and it doesn't need to take full control of an episode or anything. Little snippets here and there would be great, but I don't want her to now not be in the rest of the show because she went crazy on the doctor. I don't want that. I want to know why she flipped out and why she went crazy. That's a very interesting thing. And if you end up just nixing that, that's going to kind of suck, and I'm going to hate that, unfortunately. And then my other issue is this episode was a lot of telling and not showing so much or even getting stuff done. I feel like we had a lot of conversations about Wendy's connection to the aliens, and there was a lot of talk about Joe working for Prodigy and getting Joe off the island. There was just so much focused on certain things that we weren't getting anything else done in this episode. The only thing we really got done was realizing that Wendy is connected to the aliens and she can talk to them and she can make the creepy sound, which is, when she does it, it is so creepy. Like, their noise is creepy, but when she does it, it is very creepy, and I do like that about that. But yeah, we only got that, and we got to see how the alien or the eye creature works. We didn't really get much done other than that. We're still going in circles with the Joe and Wendy thing here. Now we're going to be starting to go in circles with Morrow and Slightly trying to get the egg if we just keep doing this over and over. Luckily, Morrow gave Slightly an ultimatum. He basically told him, get the egg or something bad will happen to your family. You make the choice here. So I'm really hoping that we just don't keep doing the same thing over and over now. I hope we can progress and move forward. Still haven't gotten answers for some things. Pieces are missing there. We've been told a lot of things. We're not shown a lot of things. So I'm hoping that changes in the next 2 episodes. We hope we get something. This one just felt like not a lot was going on, but the cast does such a good job that it never makes an episode boring. It's still it's still enjoyable to watch, and I still like the cast, and Timothy Olyphant is definitely my favorite part of the show. So anytime he is on screen, it makes it even more worth watching. But I do like the relationships between characters. And as much as I hate the mystery, I also like the mystery of not knowing what's all going on. But I do need to still get some answers. We're halfway through the show, first season, and I feel like we have as many answers as we did the first episode. So, would like to get some of those episodes, but obviously my final grade overall, as there was more pros than cons here, but I feel like the cons just a little bit outweighed the pros in this one, but I have to give this one a C plus. Still a solid episode, but nothing terrible or nothing too big. So hopefully episode 5 can change that and we can get back to some high notes, because I'm enjoying the show. It's not that I'm not enjoying it. There's just certain things that nitpick, if you want to say, that are bothering me, and I just want to get some answers to something. We're still getting that mystery wall block, and I don't want to keep doing that in every episode. So we'll see what happens. You guys tell me what you guys think about the show. What did you think of this episode? Did you enjoy it or not? Are you enjoying the show? Also, comment down what shows you're watching, what movies you're checking out. Don't forget to check out the gaming channel that's going on. Definitely take suggestions over there on what you guys want to see me play. I'll watch what movies and shows you want here. But until I see you in the next episode, have a good one. That was really bad.